Hi guys, welcome to another video. I'm currently freezing because apparently it's Florida's turn to get hit by crazy weather, but I'm very happy to be off and home this weekend. So I didn't have, off and home today. Yesterday I was at Gasparilla, so I was out in the weather, but it was fine, it was fun. I guess I just kind of wanted to make a video about growth and change because I realized it's been exactly 6 months essentially since I decided to leave Texas, where I'd lived for the last 8 years and like made all my friends and whatnot, and move back to Florida. So I just kind of wanted to yap about it. This video may be disorganized because it's literally, I don't have a script, I didn't write anything down, I'm just going off the dome. So there were so many things when it went into this move that I wanted to accomplish, and obviously I'm not going to have accomplished them all in 6 months, but I have accomplished quite a few, or at least I've made progress towards accomplishment. One thing was to grow my confidence even more, because I spent a lot of 2025 working on my confidence and learning to understand that confidence is more of a repeated action than it is a state of mind. Like, do I feel confident half the time? No, but I'm always going to act like I am, and act like I know what I'm doing, and act like I'm good. And honestly, it then like transforms into a state of mind, because the more that works out, the more I'm like, oh yeah, I can do this. So I got pretty good, or at least I made significant improvement in 2025. In 2026, I wanted to continue to further that. So anyways, one of my goals with moving was to improve my confidence by forcing myself to do things, to really go out of my comfort zone and essentially start all over. I used to be so scared to post, but the closer I got to moving, the more I posted. And then since I got down here, I feel like I've posted pretty consistently, and I've learned a lot about the way that I think just from watching these videos back. Another thing that I've been working on is being by myself. Before I moved down here, I'd been in that same city in Texas for 8 years. I had been in a relationship or talking to somebody for most of that time, from like when I was 15 and up, and I always had friends to do things with, and if people weren't available, then I just didn't do anything. I've realized that like I wasn't doing things that I wanted to do solely because I didn't have somebody to do it with me. Moving down to Florida, obviously that was going to be the case too. So that was another thing I was just trying to grow out of, because I don't ever want to look back on my life and regret not doing things because I was waiting for other people to want to do them or to be available to do them. So I've done a lot of that. I've done a lot of work towards that. I'm still not totally there, but I am getting better, and I hope to continue to get better. I think it's just gonna take a little bit more time, but one of the things I really want to do this summer is like have a beach day and go paddleboarding just by myself without needing anybody else. And I kept making plans to do that this past year, but then I just didn't do it. So that's one of my big goals for 2026. However, I have been able to like go shopping or go to bookstores, go to coffee shops and sit for a while, all by myself, which is not something I would have done if I had lived in Texas. I also have talked to a lot more strangers, and I've met some pretty interesting people, but it's fun to talk to strangers in public, obviously being safe, but like sitting at a coffee shop and just yapping with a mom that was there with her daughter, or yesterday at Gasparilla just yapping with these girls that were on the sidewalk, and I actually ended up getting one of their Instagrams. It's super neat, and I feel like it's definitely helping my confidence in that aspect grow too. I've also learned how to pick myself up faster. I used to fall into really, really bad slumps where I just couldn't do anything and I let everything fall behind. And I've done a really good job picking myself up faster. So in my turnaround, instead of my turnaround being a month, it's like 3 days, and then I'm up and I'm fixing my shit up again and I'm ready to get back on it. Which is huge for me, because honestly, the last 2 years have been constant battling with the version of myself outside of these slumps and the version of myself in these slumps that constantly sabotages myself. This move has just been so good for me, and for so many reasons. Now I just kind of want to talk about all the things I'm grateful for that aren't necessarily areas of growth, but that I'm just so incredibly grateful for with this move. One, I feel like it has connected me so much more with some of my friends. Like, we talk more regularly, or we have a standing book club, or we play Minecraft together, or whatever it is. Like, I feel more connected to my friends, if that makes sense, than when I lived in the same city as them. Since I moved down here, I got back into school, so I am pursuing my bachelor's again. I'd taken some time off because of financial issues and because of just not participating in school the way that I should have. But we are back in school. My job is amazing. I transferred with the same company, but the culture of this store is out of this world. It's so amazing. All of the leadership, all of the team members. I'm in this development program now to become a leader while I'm still in school, which never would have happened in a meaningful way at my old store. So it's been really neat. I also love living with my family down here. I'm learning how to be more of I'm learning how to be part of a living room family, because I do live with my aunt and uncle right now and my cousin, and their lives are just like, the way they do things are just so different, and I love it so much because it really feels like that's what I was meant to be doing. So it's been really neat learning to be a living room family and seeing everything they do as a family. Also, since I moved, my creativity has definitely sparked because I don't have as many distractions or excuses for things now, so I am writing a lot. I've started writing on Substack. This is when I started posting my YouTube videos. I've also started writing poetry, journaling every single day. I'm more engaged with creativity than I have been since, I want to say, I was in high school, or maybe even before then. And it feels so good. I forgot how good creating feels, especially when you have those lower points. I've also found myself reading more and just really, really valuing my mind a lot more, putting in a lot of work to make sure that I'm not just rotting my brain, because it got to a point while I was out of school where I was genuinely scared of how bad my brain had gotten, and I thought there was no recovery, and there definitely is recovery. It just takes effort, and I've put in that effort since I moved to Florida. Now let's talk about Gasparilla. So I have a tendency when I make plans to then be like, oh no, like I don't feel like it, or I don't feel good, or I have try to make up excuses, especially when it's something that I think is going to be very overwhelming and overstimulating at times. And I think those two words definitely describe what Gasparilla is like. If you don't know what Gasparilla is, if you're not from the Tampa, Florida, or the surrounding areas, it's kind of like Floridian Mardi Gras. Some pirates kidnap our mayor and they get the key to the city, and there's a parade, there's lots of beads, lots of drinking, everybody dresses up like pirates. It's really cool. It's a cool concept, and I'd never heard about it until I moved back down here, because when I lived down here in the first place, we didn't really live near it, and my parents weren't big on that stuff. I was going to back out because I was like, I have the weekend off, I kind of want to stay home. I don't know if I want to go and deal with all of that. I ended up going. I didn't have to drive. We all dressed up. We went to this cute cafe. The food was delicious. I got a mojo chicken sandwich, and they had this nice fresh Cuban bread with butter. It was so good. Oh my god. Had a couple drinks there. Then we started walking. This was also, mind you, the coldest Gasparilla on record so far. It was by the time we left at maybe 8 p.m., it was feels like of 26 outside, which is crazy for Central Florida, mind you. There were snow flurries in not Brooksville, in Spring Hill, maybe in Brooksville too, don't know. We were talking to somebody that lives in Spring Hill, and they said there were snow flurries. So very, very cold. It was also rainy. That's when I bought this sweatshirt yesterday at a Publix in downtown Tampa, because I was in this little linen peplum top. I'll put a picture here. I was not warm. I knew it was gonna be cold, but I literally last month walked around Galveston in minimal layers when it was super windy for a ghost tour. So I was like, I'll be fine. I got this. No, I'm so glad I had it, because it wasn't even the wind that got me, it was the rain. When it started to rain, I was freezing. So glad I got this. After it started to rain, we decided to leave the parade, and so me, my cousin, and my aunt went back to my other cousin's truck, but he and his girlfriend were still at this bar. So we were like, well, let's go find something to do. So I looked up coffee shops because I was like, I really want a freaking hot chocolate right now. Got a hot chocolate and this amazing baklava croissant from this coffee shop called Shortwave Coffee. I'd heard about it from a date that I went on a few months ago, but I just have not made it back in downtown Tampa. After the coffee shop, then the three of us walked over to Sparkman's Wharf, which is a really cute little shopping type district, like restaurant district more like. And they had this beer garden, so we sat and we drank for a little bit. My other cousin and his girlfriend met us there. They got some food, we yapped. It was a lot of fun. My phone was on like 70% for the entire day yesterday, which shows just how much I didn't use it. Then after that, we decided to check out this Gasparilla distillery that we'd passed on the way into Tampa. It was so cool. The interior was so well designed. The people were super friendly. The drinks were amazing. And we stayed there for maybe an hour and a half before we finally decided to leave and go home. The whole point of that was to say that I had so much fun, and the people I went out with, like ideally in Texas, I ideally would have gone with friends, but it was nice to go with my family and to meet people at the festival and just have a great time. And it really got me reflecting on the last 6 months of being in Florida instead of Texas. And I know I definitely made the right move. I don't know if Florida's a permanent move for me, but I made the right move for the part of my life that I'm in. So that concludes my rambly video. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys next Monday.